the Central States Tag Team Tournament behind us, the crowning of new champions, Bulldog Bob Brown, the Cuban Assassin, and accompanied by, quote unquote, the $8 million man, who, from my viewpoint, was quite responsible for these two individuals being the champions at this time. You know, you've been champions for 2 weeks now. Already, as I understand it from promoter Bob Geigel, the challenges are flying in from everywhere. Last week, right here on All-Star Wrestling, quite a contest between yourselves and obviously the #1 challengers for your title, the Cowboy Rick Patterson and Big Steve Ray. One worthy team of your title, another one to be here very soon, next week in fact, the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson. They've mentioned the Central States title by name. Don't forget, Rock and Roll Express, 5 times former NWA World Heavyweight Champions. They're looking for you.
Well, there's no one in this building than myself that knows the Rock and Roll Express. Now, I knew them when they first started. And right here in the Midwest, St. Joe, Kansas City, they used to take a shellacking at the hands of Bulldog Bob Brown. But let me remind you one thing. They're great competitors. You know, they are the champions. But right now, if I'm not mistaken, they got stripped of their title not too long ago. They got beat. Now let's go back to Ray and Patterson. You know, they're a great team. You know, just a little bit more polishing up, they'll probably be up there where the Cuban and Bulldog Bob Brown is. To be champions, you've got to have it all the way up. There's nothing down here. It's got to be all the way to the top. And when you're tagged up with a great individual from Havana, Cuba, and you got a Canadian who don't care how he wins, and Cuba, I can tell you, they don't care how they win. Now you put that combination together, and you tell me in your right mind, Mr. J. French, where is there a team that's capable of beating Bulldog Bob Brown?
I tell you what I'll do. I'm going to pass that question one step further. Let me ask the fans in the building today, do they want to see a match between you and the Rock and Roll Express?
You know what happened? The promoter of the WWA, Bob Geigel, when he told me to sign that paper, he don't tell me who I'm going to wrestle. Now you come and tell the people here that he's the rock and roll. Well, I'm going to tell you something. In Cuba, we don't play rock and roll. And when you talk about wrestling, they can drop kick. But me and Bob Brown can drop kick much better than them. We can take the rock and roll from corner to corner, post to post, in the floor, in the parking lot, and we're going to show the rock and roll that music got nothing to do with wrestling.
All I can tell you is Central States Tag Team Champions, you better be on the lookout. Whether it's Des Moines, Iowa, St. Joseph, Missouri, wherever it is, whether it's Cowboy Rick Patterson and Big Steve Ray or the Rock and Roll Express, everybody's looking for you. We'll be back, fans. Don't go away.